Everybody, welcome back to part 9, I believe, of our Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn Let's Play. Last time, we beat the Swamp chapter. Today we're going to be continuing on. We're right where we left off. I actually don't remember what chapter this is, so I'm going to have to wait and see.
Micaiah and her small band of fighters knowingly walk into a trap to save condemned Dayan prisoners, even without the benefit of Izuka's vast information network. News of Micaiah's heroism in Shifu Swamp spreads like wildfire across Dayan.
You could say golden wildfire, am I right?
Dub her the priestess of dawn and find their spirits restored. In their troubled hearts, they see in her nothing less than the
It's unfortunate I didn't get to use Phil in the last chapter, though. I was really hoping I would get to use her, but then I realized they really couldn't bring her because of all the swamp. If there's a chapter I think it is, I probably won't even get a chance to use Reader in this time.
Jared redeploys his men to key locations to better defend the capital city. Jared's forces still outnumber those of the Dayan liberators, and he has hardened his defenses in hopes of holding off Micaiah's army. The liberation forces fight with a fury not to be denied, however, and the occupation army begins to lose its will to fight. Breaking through enemy lines again and again, Micaiah's forces gain vital ground and momentum. Despite the anger Micaiah feels toward Izuka for his treatment of their Laguz allies, she continues to lead the army in its lightning-quick advance. Navasa is now mere days away.
Yeah, that is the chapter that I think it is. One survives. This should be a fun chapter, and you'll see why. The newspaper guy. I honestly like the redesign he got in this game. And the other game, I know he's still technically a kid, but like since he's like half Laguz, he shouldn't age like that fast. But I do like that they gave him a redesign anyway, because in the other game, he kind of looked kind of goofy. This one he actually looks pretty good. He got betrayed. He's making his move. And just like that, we're in the preparation, so let's go ahead and go into the info tab, because we got 2 conversations we gotta knock out of the way first. Ah, yes. Jill. And we already know who that guy is. Well, I mean, at least you should if you played the other game. And that's the other person I was talking about, the one that was broken. I probably won't use this scroll to be honest, but I'll save it for later. Let me see. Oh, I need a new light tone. Alright, so, yeah, I forgot about this part. So, you're probably noticing something weird. You can only pick Micaiah in this chapter for some reason, but, like, I already know why, but you don't. Which means that, yeah, you cannot manage XP. You do have those extra points, but I'm gonna save them up for next chapter. Because the next chapter is actually the finale of part 1 of the game. So we're already reaching the finale of part 1, which is pretty impressive. So what I'm actually gonna do is just quickly buy her a light tome, and you'll see what the whole deal with this chapter is, because it's pretty cool. Oh wait, yeah. There it is. Light. Alright. Super short preparations. Yep, we gotta fight Jared by ourselves. He's level 4, but he's a halberdier. I'm not gonna go too in depth with this dude yet, because he's not gonna die this chapter, and he's gonna show up again. So I want to, and his stats do remain the same the next time we meet him. So I want to review him there, not here. These guys are all level 1 soldiers, by the way, which is, you're probably thinking that's pretty weird. They're all level 1 except for, you know, Jared, but you'll see why. Uh-oh. Alright, so this is our first Fog of War chapter. there aren't that many in the game, actually, which is pretty, I like that, because, you know, I don't like Fog of War. Trying to think here, so there's this one, and there's one in part 2. Is there one in part 3? No, I don't think there's one in part 3, but I know there's one in part 4. Yeah, so there's actually, so I believe, if I'm correct, there's actually 3 Fog of War chapters in total. That is the first one, and, yeah. So here's the Black Knight. Now, I'm not gonna really say if he's good or not, because, well, number one, you can see for yourself by his stats. And second, he's already level 20. Like, he's not gonna get any XP. He's really fun to use, but the thing is, though, if you're trying to give XP to people, try not to, like, deploy him. However, that's the thing, if you're trying to 100% this game, like, get every cutscene, everything like that, you're gonna need to deploy him in certain chapters, because, I believe what you gotta do, there's a secret character you unlock to get, because, you know, you want to get every cutscene, everything. There's a secret character they can only unlock on your second playthrough of your game, like, second playthrough and beyond. And the way you unlock that involves the Black Knight. And I'm gonna have to look this up later for confirmation of the other details, because there's a bunch of other stuff you gotta do. But for the Black Knight specifically, I know that you gotta deploy him in the next chapter, chapter 10. And you have to, what was it? You have to have Ike fight him in part 3. The one. If you guys already played this game, you know which one I'm talking about. It's the one where you play as the girl mercenaries and you're fighting Micaiah's army. But you have to have Ike fight him, and they both have to live. And then the second thing you gotta do in that very same chapter is you have to have Soren fight what was his name? Micaiah. And once you do that, I'm trying to remember. There's another chapter where he shows up, but I don't remember the name of the chapter. But you basically have to you have to deploy the Black Knight in every chapter that he's available, or else you will not unlock the secret character. But like I said, this will only work in your second playthrough and beyond. And there's obviously other requirements that you gotta do, but I'll let you guys know what those are late in another episode, because I don't remember them right off the top of my head. I just know that for the Black Knight, you gotta deploy him in every single chapter, and if he shows up in a chapter where you're not playing as him, you have to have the other main character fight him, and he has to live, obviously. Now let's go into his weapon. He has a Londite. Pretty good. It will not break, and you cannot trade this weapon, by the way. I've tried to, and obviously you can see a lock on it. I didn't notice that in my first 2 playthroughs. It was only my 3rd playthrough that I noticed that there's a lock on it. But yeah, you cannot trade this item or anything like that. It will not break. It's a 2-ranged weapon, so you can attack from near and from range. Pretty good. Now, for your first playthrough, I don't recommend you use the Black Knight all that often, since, you know, obviously you can't unlock the secret character anyway. But the reason why is because you're still trying to get used to the characters, you know, and like who you're gonna run with, you know. And you don't really want to give XP to the Black Knight, because he can't get any XP. He basically shows up and insta-kills everything that gets near him, but he won't get any XP from it, so there's no point in it. Now, I will say that he is actually better, in my opinion, than the Forgettable Trio because of his availability. He shows up in more chapters than they do, even though he's already kept out. So yeah, I don't know how they let that one go through, but yeah, he's better. If you're trying to do like just a fun run, I guess you could say, where you just don't care what character's using, yeah, use him. He's there. There's literally like no penalty other than the XP you're missing out on for your other characters. But if this is your first playthrough, I don't recommend you using them that much. This chapter is mainly here just to like introduce him and just have fun with him. That's literally it. Like, there's no real reason for this chapter other than to introduce him. Now, Micaiah can get some XP, but she is still weak. Even though they're level 1, she has like poor defense, depending on your Micaiah, like I said. So you really want to rely on using the Black Knight. That's the whole point. You want to use him. It's just basically, the game is basically telling you, hey, have fun, you know? And that's what we're going to be doing. But for future chapters, if this is your first playthrough, try not to use him. But if you've already played this game before, yeah, go nuts with him, man. He's pretty fun to use. So, what am I actually going to do? I forgot to have a talk conversation. Ooh, that's pretty good. Oh, I almost forgot one thing. There's actually this. The game doesn't tell you this up until later on, but or actually, I think it might have already told us back in the Desert chapter. So you guys know in the older Fire Emblem games, I don't know if Three Houses has this, but in Desert chapters, usually if you step on like a tile, it'll give you like an item, like a specific tile. You know, there are certain tiles you gotta step on, and it'll give you a free item. This is one of the few chapters in the game that I believe it gives you an item, but it's not a Desert chapter. So if you get Micaiah or the Black Knight to just step on like random tiles, you will get eventually like a, I can't remember what the item is specifically. It's a specific item. It's like a, what is it called? I'm trying to remember. It's like a stat booster item. I know that, but I can't remember which one specifically. But if you're interested, yeah, you're gonna want to step on like I believe around here, where I'm highlighting it. There's like a specific stat booster item right there, and it's pretty useful. Yeah, so I'm gonna just basically use Micaiah to just attack from range. What's your weapon rank? Ah, it's still B. She's almost capped out her other stats aside from defense, but yeah. Oh, he's actually going for Micaiah. That's good. She could get that XP. I'm just not gonna move this chapter because I'm waiting for the enemies to clear up a little bit. Because I don't recommend moving the Black Knight out of the way just yet, because of I'm trying to remember. Because of all the enemies there are, there's a couple of enemies and there are reinforcements that show up around, and they can sneak up behind Micaiah and kill her. You don't want that happening. Got a vulnerary. That's nice. Oh yeah, I forgot the Black Knight has 70 health. One thing that I find interesting is that the Black Knight actually has a death quote, even though he cannot die. Like, and I'm not talking about plot dying. I'm talking about like when he's playable dying. Like each character has like a death quote if they die, if they're only in your playable army. You know, like if they're a boss, they have their boss quote, death quote. You know, but the playable death quote, he actually has one, which is crazy because there is no way you can get him killed normally. The only way you can get him killed is by hacking the game and like getting like some like either reducing his stats or bringing in some tough enemies. That's the only way you're gonna be able to kill this guy. And the crazy thing is, I seen what his death quote is. That his death quote literally basically is like Micaiah telling him, "No, the legendary Black Knight. How could he have fallen?" It's something like that. It's pretty interesting. That guy's still there. Gotta get rid of him. Ooh. Do double? Nah. Sucks that she can't even double the level 1 enemies yet. Ah, man. I gotta heal up. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You don't want to move the Black Knight because she can die just as easily even though they're level 1 units. Okay, I maxed out her stats. Perfect. She doesn't need to be doing anything else for the rest of this chapter. I'm only going to be using her for looking for that item. And there's Jarrett. He finally appears. Let's see. I wonder if I kind of want to do this. Let's see. Can I get Micaiah to fight him? Yeah, I think I can. Okay, I actually want you guys to see this, his battle animation. Normally I have these off, but I didn't mean to turn that one off. Hold up. I want to show you guys this one. Oh yeah. Just insta kills him. And just like that, the chapter's over. I ended the chapter. The chapters are defeat boss, by the way. But the reason I ended it quick is because like there's no further reason to remain there. I mean, Makai's already capped out, and so is the Black Knight. I would just be wasting my weapon in gold, you know. But there is a step. If like I said, there is that stat booster item. I just personally didn't want to get it because I didn't really need it. But if you guys want it, you just gotta. I don't remember where it is on the map. You're gonna have to look that up. And just like that, that chapter is now over. It's a pretty fun chapter, but it's like short. Like you're not gonna be getting XP. The only real purpose, like I said, is just like to have fun with the Black Knight and to have Micaiah catch up on enemies. Because if for whatever reason you're still don't have her level maxed out, because by this point, pretty sure the game wants you to have her level 20 by this point. Because WoW's what they give you level 1 enemies that give you, because these enemies give you a lot of XP. So I can't think of a reason why they would have them give you XP if the Black Knight can't even get XP. So I'm pretty sure that the developers wanted you to like catch up if you still aren't level 20. But because they're pretty weak, but they can still kill you. But they do give you a lot of XP. And other than that, because there's not really anything else to do in that chapter. There's, like I said, there's just that one stat booster. But like it's like a real pain to find because you have to like you only have 2 characters and you gotta move them one by one to each tile to find that specific item, and I can't like it takes like 30 minutes to do, you know. I don't have that kind of patience. But it's like one of those stat boosters. I think it's like a strength one or something like that. It's your strength or speed from what I've seen. But yeah, I just don't personally think it's that worth it for me because I don't really need it. I can easily level them up, you know. And I already know like the ins and outs of this game pretty much. Like play this like my 7th playthrough, I think. So I don't really think I need it. And I already, like I said, I already got Micaiah level 20. Like you guys saw, I got Micaiah level 20. So other than that, like really nothing else to do in that chapter. Just like have fun with the Black Knight, and then just kill Jared. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And tomorrow we will finish up part 1 and just retake Dane. Hopefully use Fiona. Probably not. I mean, I want to use it. I mean, I want to use it, but it's gonna be a pain to go through because of the next chapter. The way it sucks for Cavalier units, man. If you're planning on doing like this chapter ahead of me, I'm just gonna let you guys know: do not let your guard down with Cavaliers, because it's like one of those vertical chapters where you gotta climb ledges and stuff. And if you're using a Cavalier, obviously they can't climb ledges, so they gotta go all the way around. And the whole time they're getting like sniped by mages and archers. And you already know how Fiona is with mages and archers. She sucks. So you gotta be very careful with that. I'm trying to think. Yeah, once I do finish up part 1, we'll go right ahead with part 2. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that I missed. Oh yeah. So once we finish part 1, well, once I finish part 1, but like when we get to that part, what I'm gonna do is, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this on screen or off, but I'm gonna manage everybody's inventories accordingly, because the way it's set up is basically once we finish up part 1, we don't see those characters until later on, because like I said, you guys remember how I told you guys, this game is split into 4 parts, and each part tells a different story of another group, you know. So once we finish up with this part, we're moving on to the next group of characters in the next story, you know. And I'm gonna organize everybody's inventory, so when we see these guys again, because we will see them again, you know, I want to organize it to where like it's all, you know, like good and like nothing's out of place or anything like that. There's 3 different groups of characters that we will be playing as. This is the first one. The second one, I'm trying to remember. Part 2 is short, I believe. If I remember correctly, I think part 2 is only like 5 or 6 chapters long. Part 1 is 10 chapters. Part 2 is like 6 chapters, around there. And part 3 is I don't even remember how long part 3 is. Part 3 is pretty long. I think it's like 13 chapters. And then part 4 is like 6 chapters, not including the finale. Because there's 4 parts not including a finale. The finale itself is like 4 chapters long. So that's a pretty decent amount. And once you get done with part 1 and part 2, you move on to part 3. And part 3 is a little bit weird. And I'm going to explain the whole gimmick of part 3 when we get there. But you won't see these characters again until part 3. But like halfway through part 3. So make sure you organize your inventory like the way you need to. Like just have like new, you know, your new weapons and stuff. Buy everything you're going to need that you think you're going to need, you know. Because I'm going to give you guys a heads up. The inventory is split up between the 3 groups. It is not merged. So let's say I have 8,000 gold in Makai's group. Well, once I move on to part 2, I'm not going to have that gold. Because they have their own gold. It's their own group. They have their own convoy and their own money. So make sure, I'm not saying like don't waste all your money on Makai, just make sure like you come prepared. Because when you guys meet him again, you know, you're going to have weapons, you're going to have vulners, you're going to have, you know, whatever you need. And part 3 has its own group as well. Part 4 is when they do merge though. So yeah. Is there anything else? I'm trying to remember. No, I think that's it. I think... yeah, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. I'm pretty sure I was going to see something. I'm trying to think because I remember I was going to see something else, but it just slipped my mind. So, with that out of the way, see you guys next time. We'll finish up part 1, and then we'll move on to part 2 on Wednesday.